The disciples had been out on the sea all night fishing. And they come back. Their nets are empty. And there's Jesus. And he speaks to them and says, "Why don't you throw your nets over that side of the boat?" Can you get inside of Peter's mind here for a second? Impetuous Peter. The Bible doesn't record that he said anything to Jesus, but I can hear him saying, "Hey, look, Jesus, you're the rabbi. You're the theologian. When we want to know about the theological truths, we come to you, but don't try to tell us how to fish. We've been fishing for years on this lake, and we've been out here all night, and we've had the nets on this side of the boat, on that side of the boat. There's nothing happening." Peter doesn't do that. I think he says to the disciples, "He is the Lord. Humor him." So they throw the net over the side of the boat, and you know what happened. Every fish in the Sea of Galilee jumped in the net. So the first net was filled, then another net was filled, and the capacity of the nets is so great that they're ready to sink the fishing boat. Now think for a moment. You're Peter. What would you do in a case like that? You're Jewish. You're in the fishing business. If I'm Peter, I say, "Look, Jesus, tell you what, do I have a deal for you?" Okay? Here's what I'm saying. Just once a month. Just one time a month, you come here and you do this shtick. And you have 50% of the business. The rest of the month, we can just hang out repairing our nets, waiting for the next time for you to come. You would think that's what an astute businessman would have done. Quite to the contrary. What did Peter do? This is incredible what Peter does. When Jesus fills those nets with fishes, Peter looks at him and he says, "Depart from me. Please leave. For I am a sinful man." Jesus didn't give a sermon on repentance. He just told these guys to throw the net on the other side of the boat. But the same one who could command the wind and the sea now command the fish within the sea. And the same response is there. Absolute terror, because in the presence of the holy Peter was only conscious of his sinfulness. The thing that Freud failed to understand. As creative as we may be, to invent a religion to protect us from our natural fear, why would we ever invent a God whose character is far more terrifying than the natural powers may be? Yes, we invent gods, and these gods that we invent, as we heard earlier, are idols. And one of the reasons why we make idols for ourselves is because they're deaf and they're dumb, they are common, and they are not holy. Listen to unbelievers talk about Jesus. So some are critical, but for the most part, they have nice things to say about Jesus. Great teacher, compassionate man, terrific humanitarian. They have so many good things to say about Jesus from the safe vantage point of 2,000 years removed that you have to ask the question. The question is begged, why did his contemporaries kill him? One theologian said Jesus was not crucified because he said, "Consider the lilies, how they grow. But because he said, consider the thieves, how they steal. The world could not tolerate the Holy One of Israel.